Ahlan, welcome. In this recording we'll look back at Moodle 1.9 and see how we can use the forums in order to deliver assignments. Let's switch to our Moodle course page. Here we are. So the way we currently have our course page set up is as a weekly format with a start date of 26th of September. And what we would like to do as an instructor is we would like to have a weekly assignment where students post their reply to a question that the instructor will post, and as well as give their feedback to some of the students' replies. So in order to do that, we will use the forum activity. So let's do that. So of course we always make sure that we have our turn editing on top right, so that we can add items to our course page. So let's take, for example, the first week here, and we, in this box, we go to the drop downs and we go to the add an activity drop down, and we will choose forum. Okay, so here is our adding a new forum. So we will call this, for example, week 1 assignment. For example, comment on the article. So for example, here what we might do is, let's say I have an article about online learning, right? For example, this Wikipedia article here. So we'll say read the following article about online learning, colon, then link to the article, and we highlight the text, and I will click this little icon here that looks like a chain and says insert edit link. Go back to my web page, copy the link from the URL address bar, paste it here. We probably want to open this in a new window, and we'll give it a title, so Wikipedia article e-learning, and say insert. Right, and then we have to ensure that our instructions for the students are clear. So then we'll say comment on, here we'll say reply to the post by, for example, we'll say okay, by summarizing what you understand by the term e-learning 2.0, for example, right? You are also required to post at least 2 comments to the replies post at least 2 replies to, I would say also required to post at least to post a reply to the post of at least 2 students, right? Ideally we probably want to have a rubric here also that explains exactly how the post by a student will be evaluated, and then we'll say it won't be a standard forum. In this case it will be a single simple discussion, right? Because we want only the instructor's assignment to be the main post, and then everybody will reply to it, and the students who reply to other students' reply will be counted for the additional submission. So we'll probably be to force subscription because that's the email send email post that they will receive for each post, and we probably want to do the maximum in terms of attachment size if we are going to give the student the ability to post an audio. And ratings, we'll leave that to no ratings. Ratings is if you want to have like a 1 to 5 star and give the student ability to rate each post. So that's basically it here, and yeah, and we'll do save and display. Right, and this is how it will show. So you see how it opens in a new window, article, and the student can just click reply to reply. If we go back to the course page now, we'll see our week 1 assignment, and for some reason it went. Sometimes Moodle does this where the turn editing on just goes away. So we'll do the same thing now for each week's assignment, and of course the resources that they will be read might be different. So that's basically it for this this training tutorial. Let me know if you have any questions. Okay, ahlan, welcome. This is a continuation to using forums for assignments. We wanted to add an addendum to the recording. Because last time we didn't talk about activity completion, where we can add conditions to the forum activity to indicate when the activity is complete for each student. The reason why we are doing this separately is because this feature might not actually be enabled on your Moodle install. So let me first show you, if you are an administrator of your Moodle site, how to do it. Otherwise you can always, if you're not, you can always ask your administrator to enable this feature. So let's look at our Moodle course site, right? So what you would do is you would go to your site administration, click on advanced features. Of course you would make sure that you're logged in as an administrator if you normally are logged in as a teacher. Then you would browse down and make sure that enable completion tracking is checked, because by default in the Moodle install this is unchecked. So you want to make sure that this is checked and save changes. Now let me actually log out, and I'm going to log back in as a teacher. test teacher. Go to my course page and click on my week 1 assignment, which is a forum, and on our left block here we'll go to forum administration and click edit settings. And now you will see, oh, before I do this, actually there is something else that you need to do in the course administration. So you want to go to course administration, edit settings, and make sure that in student progress, which you didn't see that box before when completion tracking was not enabled, and what you want to do is you want to change completion tracking to enabled. And this setting here, completion tracking begins an enrollment, is you can just check it if you need that feature. For example, maybe your students might be enrolled before the start date and you don't really want to do any tracking before the enrollment date, so you could check that box. Save changes. Then when we go to our week 1 assignment and click edit settings in the activity box settings here, we will see now, if you keep browsing to the bottom, an additional box called activity completion. So this is where now you can, so for example, we want to say, by default it says do not indicate activity completion. We want to say you can make students able to manually check the activity, but in this case we'd actually like to say show activity as complete when the conditions are met, and those below is the different conditions available for this activity. So we'll say obviously that they require to view the activity, and that they require a grade, and we want to say, and this is the grade that we'll give them when we evaluate their post as an instructor, but also we want them to require that they make a minimum of, actually we don't want them to post because this is a single post by the instructor. We just want them to have a minimum of 3 replies, where 1 is their own reply and 2 minimum replies to other students' replies. To save and display. Yeah, so basically after you've enabled completion tracking, you will see this additional check mark here that if it's not completed will actually be grayed, and as the student posts their all the requirements, conditions that we've set for this will be automatically checked, showing to the student that they've completed this activity. So that completes our recording. Let me know if you have any questions.